Eddie Hearn says that he is not involved in negotiations with Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant. And also, Bivol could be next. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. So, Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez, like I said, the fight is off with negotiations, and Eddie Hearn even said himself that he's not involved in this scenario, and Bivol could be next. And here's my take on the whole situation. I think Eddie Hearn should have every right to get involved with this situation. I think Eddie Hearn is a great promoter, even though he lies and cap all the time. I think he's a good promoter. We've seen that he got some good fighters, the biggest fights. I know Demetrius Andre's situation with that and stuff like that. He didn't really help Demetrius Andre, but I had to look back at the fighters he did. He really tried to help. He tried to help Tevin Farmer get the big fights, and he did help Tevin Farmer get the big fights. And he's also co-promoting for Devin Haney, and he's getting Devin Haney solid good fights because everybody seems to be ducking this man, and everybody talks about Devin Haney doesn't have punching power, but y'all sure running from this young man. And he tried to secure a fight with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. I gotta admire Eddie Hearn. He's a good promoter because he's gonna do everything in his power he can to make the big fights happen. But Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua knew that fight wasn't gonna happen because Tyson Fury had a rematch clause. But let's move on forward to the situation. Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez recently, this fight deal is not done. Like in my last video, Canelo Alvarez is getting everything but the kitchen sink at this point. He's getting $40 million. This is from the PBC. $40 million. He's getting rights to Mexican sponsorship, cable companies, whatever you want to call it. And also, he's getting money on the back end from that big Hennessy company contract. And he's also getting, I believe, 10% of the pay-per-view revenues. And he's getting another percentage off the back end of the gate. So Canelo Alvarez, if you put all that together, he's going to be making $60 million, $60 to $70 million. I'm not good at the statistics, but with all that sponsorship he has, he's going to be making a ton of money. I don't understand why is Canelo Alvarez is questionable about this negotiation. I mean, I believe he should take a 2-fight deal, you know. Somebody in my comment section say he should take a 2-fight deal. There ain't nothing wrong with a 2-fight deal. You could have an option to pick either Jamal Charlo or David Benavidez. Now, I would like to see David Benavidez, but I also would like to see him destroy Jamal Charlo. But I don't know why they can't get this deal done. Canelo Alvarez is getting everything but the kitchen sink. I don't know. The PBC should not give Canelo Alvarez all this type of money because they're not going to get a return on their investment. And this is how HBO, guys, a long time ago, HBO was representing other fighters from different countries and not acknowledge the American fighters and Mexican fighters like they should. And you've seen what happened to HBO. They couldn't get a return on their investment for some fighters. And guess what happened? They went out of business. And this potentially could hurt the PBC. And I won't say put them out of business, but it can hurt them and put them in a hole for a very long time. And if I was a fighter, a regular fighter that was coming up like 16-0, and I find out that y'all giving Canelo Alvarez all this money, you know, I'll feel some type of way because you got other fighters to help. You got other fighters to give money as well. And you give Canelo Alvarez $40 million, all this money, and, you know, you're not going to get a return on your investment. Now, no slight to Caleb Plant, but Caleb Plant doesn't do numbers. You know, Caleb Plant is a star boxer. He's a superstar boxer. I mean, I don't understand why they're giving Canelo Alvarez all this money. I don't think he needs that much money. I think $20 million, $20 to $30 million should be good enough. I would even say $25 million. But I don't understand why they can't get a deal done. Now, Eddie Hearn, I can believe Eddie Hearn can get a deal done between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant, because we've seen Eddie Hearn try to get some major deals done. As you're saying, like the Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua situation, he couldn't get it done. Eddie Hearn was caught on tape lying, saying that we need to see proof of funds from Deontay Wilder. And everybody was saying, what type of man from Alabama does not have $50 million? And Deontay Wilder at that time, he had stupid amounts of money. And Deontay Wilder said, I'll put $50 million up front. And then Eddie Hearn comes back with a video saying, we never asked for show proof of funds. And that's what capped, because there was 2 videos that Eddie Hearn lied. And that kind of turned me away from Eddie Hearn when he said that Deontay Wilder didn't have $50 million. And when he did put up the money, Eddie Hearn said, oh, we never asked for proof of funds and stuff like that. But the point of the matter is, Eddie Hearn also says that Bivol could be involved next. My take on that, Bivol's not going to be Canelo Alvarez. He looked at like hot trash in his last fight. He just didn't look good. He was getting touched up too bad. You know, his arm reach, you know, for a light heavyweight, he's very, he's a big light heavyweight, but he doesn't have the longest arms in the world. You know, he has a 72-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez have a 70-inch arm reach. And I think Canelo Alvarez is going to give him out like he did Sergey Kovalev. You know, he's going to catch him. Bivol's kind of a little bit slow, in my opinion. He's going to catch Bivol with a left hook, and it's going to be over for him. That's if Canelo power can translate to 175 like he did a couple years ago. The only real fight that I see Canelo Alvarez having some major problems is Arthur Beterbiev, or Arthur Beterbiev, whatever you want to call him. I still don't think Arthur Beterbiev can beat him due to the lack of defense and footwork. I think it's still going to be a tough fight for Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo Alvarez hasn't really fought anybody with a whole bunch of power. And, you know, I think that's going to be a rough and tough fight. I think it's going to be an inside battle. But I don't think Arthur Beterbiev can beat Canelo Alvarez at all. But I think he's going to give him the toughest fight of his career. That's the fights that if the Caleb deal don't happen, that's what's going to happen next. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez vacates all those belts. I don't think he would do that due to this scenario. But guys, a long time ago, I think Canelo Alvarez was sued by Al Heyman for $8.5 million. And I really don't know the situation with that. I'm going to have to do my research on why he was sued for, I believe, $8.5 million. But let me know in the comment section on why Canelo was sued for $8.5 million. But Canelo Alvarez, at this point, man, you have everything you want. You know, you should just go ahead and take the VADA test. You know, it's just ridiculous why they can't get a deal done. And it's all because of this multi-fight deal. And Eddie Reynoso, he's not happy with the deal as well. He don't want this deal at all as well. And I think they should get a deal done. You know, you're getting $40 million. You're getting the Hennessy contract. And, you know, you're getting all those TV sponsorships. You know, I would take that deal in a second. But Al Heyman, you know, you think you're going to get all this? You're going to have to at least fight another person before you get all this. You know, I don't have faith that they're going to get this deal done, guys. I really don't. Because, you know, with this back history of Al Heyman, Canelo Alvarez doesn't like Al Heyman, so on and so forth with the Oscar situation. You know, I don't think they're going to get a deal done. This is why Eddie Hearn needs to be involved, because I think Eddie Hearn can do this deal. I think he can get it done. But if Eddie Hearn can't get it done, you know, Eddie Hearn can move on to other options, get Canelo Alvarez to light heavyweight. You know, he could chase undisputed there. But, you know, you got to strike while the iron is hot, because you have 3 belts. You know, you can't stall any much longer, because you're going to have to fight mandatories. David Benavidez is on his last leg. He's going to be fighting a WBC mandatory soon. You know, there's a few guys in super middleweight that's going to be fighting for mandatories for all those belts very soon. And so you got to strike while the iron's hot. You know, you got to get out of there, get that last belt, get out of there and stuff like that, and move on to light heavyweight and do your work up there. But guys, I'm questioning that if this fight's going to happen or not. I don't think it's going to happen. If they can't get a deal done before September 18th, guys, we could kiss this undisputed match goodbye. Let's hope it happens. You know, we got a lot of big fights ahead of that, but this one is the main important one. You know, I just hope they get a deal done. I hope Eddie Hearn finds a way to get himself involved. If not, they're going to be fighting Demetrius Bivol, which I don't think Bivol's going to win, and so on and so forth. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.